Hello everyone, this is Apple iOSGenius on the YouTube channel. Basically, if you have came across my video from other videos, the best way to find me is just go to YouTube channel. In the YouTube channel, you want to go in the search feature and just type in Apple iOSGenius. And then you can pull up here where it says Buy iOSGenius, select that. And then this basically will be my channel. These are my recent uploads as well as my past videos and uploads that I've had for the past year or two or longer. You can feel free to subscribe, and right here on where it says red, subscribe. So basically what we're going to go forward here is basically I've created a profile in Apple Configurator. This profile here specifically, iOSGenius. And what we're going to do here with iOSGenius, we're going to double left click it. Excuse me. This is basically the name of the profile, the description, and consent message while during install. So this is during install, will appear for iOSGenius. But basically what I wanted to do in this profile is basically I wanted to go to the, not Wi-Fi, to actually the interesting effect here, web clips. So here's a web clip. I wanted to go to espn.com. I'll show you in a moment on my iPad that I do not have this icon, but this is basically going to create me a little shortcut. Basically, it's the same way when you're visiting the website and you hold down the website button for a moment. It would actually copy it to the clipboard, or it would actually create a shortcut onto your onto the main page or pages of the iPad. So what we're going to do here really quick, we're going to go ahead to, since it's espn.com, or here actually, better yet, oh, here it is. So as you can see, here's a logo here. So basically what I want to do is I just want to go ahead and copy this logo. Sometimes you can drag and copy over with the logo. If you do the Command Shift number 4 on your Mac, you can actually see this little cross here and you can select whatever option or feature you want. So besides that, we're going to go next here is minimize this. Now since I already have an icon here where it says ESPN, you can hit choose, go to your desktop, find that ESPN screenshot, which might be this one here. Nope, this one. Alright, so you want to hit open. Now as you can see, it says ESP, but it's kind of stretched and so forth, so that's how it's going to show. For you to resize it is basically you would have to go to the actual icon itself and then double click it, then go to the edit menu and then resize however you want to resize it to make sure it fits in a little window. So we're not going to go through that right now. So I've already chosen it. So I want to go ahead and hit save. You're going to hit save. It saves it to this profile. So we're going to go ahead and export that profile. I already have the profile here. We're just going to delete this and do it from scratch. So you want to highlight it, select this folder for exporting. This will actually export and save to your desktop or whichever specific folder you want it to. Always make sure you have the sign configuration profile. Use Apple Configurator certificate to sign in with this profile. Sometimes when you install it into a computer that may have Mac app or identify developers allowed only, if this is not checkmarked, it will not allow you to install it. It will ask you it's been damaged or you need to toss it to the trash. So we're just going to go ahead and save iOSGenius. We'll just call it 2014, a little different from previously. You're going to hit save. It's going to pull it up here by the right somewhere. There it is. So we're going to move it over here to the left. And then what we're going to do actually, and how to get this to the iPad, because you can't really technically transfer it through a USB cable through iTunes or so forth, which is basically the best way to do it is if you have a Dropbox or a Google account, go ahead and drop it into your to that specific directory or folder you may have in the cloud. So as you can see, it's already copied, iOSGenius 2014, it's a mobile config. So we're going to go ahead and close this. Now we're going to go ahead and open an app which is called Reflector. Reflector is basically an app that you can actually demonstrate what you are performing on a iOS device. So like as long as you're on the same Wi-Fi network, you can technically just go there and you want to go ahead and open Reflector here, which is right here. It's going to actually show you the computer name. So we're going to go to preferences and then it says here, use my Mac name. You could do that, or you can just rename it to whatever else you want to do it to. We're going to put a password of 123456. We're going to use Mac name. We're going to hit done. And then basically on your mobile device, you want to go on over to the Wi-Fi. And then once you go on over to your Wi-Fi, you want to go ahead and make sure you have either the proper connection of the computer. So this computer name is CEPI, what is it, CPIT? We're going to do, double check again, CEPIT Sifu. So we want to make sure you would connect to that. So then what you need to do is on your iOS device, you want to go ahead to where the AirPlay option is. Once you hit AirPlay, you're going to have an option where I'm looking at my iPad and it says iPad, then it says Apple TV, and then right below it says CEPIT Sifu. So we're just going to go ahead and make a screenshot of this on my iPad. So we're going to go ahead and select CEP. It pops up with a password for me to connect to it, and I'm going to make another screenshot of that. And I think the password was 123456. We're going to hit OK and give it a second, and it should self-populate onto the computer. And ooh, there you go. So this is my iPad that I'm using technically right in my hand, but you're going to actually seeing it through the computer. So basically, watch as I move things up and down. See, there you go. So as you can see, this is my whole iPad right now. If you didn't, currently right now it is a black iPad, so in case you did not want to change it, you can actually change it to a white iPad and you can be snazzy. Alright, so besides that, we'll go through the Reflector app through another video. So right now I'm going to go to the home page, and then I'm going to show you in Photos. Where is it? Oops, wrong one. That's actually the configurator. So what we're going to do, okay, so this is basically the AirPlay where I was showing you earlier, where you had to select the CEP IT Sifu, and once you select that, which is the computer name, that X that you see on the iPad will actually populate down here where it says CEP IT Sifu. This next slide is basically where once you select it, as you can see on the screen, it's selected. It asks you for the password, so I entered my password, or whichever the password you may have set up. Yeah, and you type that all in. So that's basically what that is. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to that profile. So we're going to go through the icons, and as you can see, there is nothing here with an ESPN logo. Nothing here again with the ESPN logo. And then here again, nothing. So what we're going to do is go ahead and open Dropbox. And now Dropbox wants me to do this. So you want to go to look for the config file that I just dropped over. And there it is, right here in the center under the letter I for iOSGenius 2014 mobile config. We're going to go ahead and run that from Dropbox. You can actually upload it to your website if you have one, or an FTP site, whichever the way is going to have it accessible to transfer it over to your iPad. So we're going to go ahead and close this. We're going to go quickly on over to my settings just to show you that I may or may not have profiles. Here I do have profile, and it says here no profiles are currently installed. So what we want to do is go back to Dropbox. We're going to go through the setup install process. So once you hit that, give it a second. It's going to say could not load. The file type cannot be viewed. So what it's trying to do, it's trying to open the file, and the file is not a recognized program. So basically what's going to happen is that mobile config file didn't work. So let's see if I have another one up here running or working already. Drive icon, QR code. Actually, no, I do not. You know what? I'm going to actually do this. There is actually a website. I do have it uploaded already. Let's go there, and then we're just going to go ahead and download and install it. Here's the website already. I already have it cached in. So we're going to go ahead, and there's an Apple one here for iTunes. There's an Android, and then there's for a mobile devices for Apple. So this is a rocket ship. We're going to go ahead and touch this rocket ship. As you can see, it's highlighted on your screen. You want to go ahead and select an open. You don't technically have to hold it. You can just tap it, give it a second, it moves, and then there you go. This is a Civitas Wi-Fi. This is what we use for school. It cannot show you the iOSGenius one, but this is basically the same similarity. So you'll see this where it says not verified. It'll say the description here under the Wi-Fi mobile of what is the Wi-Fi you are connecting to. So mine would be iOSGenius Wi-Fi. As well the description, as it states here, this will install a profile to enable secure wireless access to the internet or a network at CICS charter schools. So in my description was basically this was an iOSGenius and it's only available to the iOSGenius site too, and so forth. So at this point you want to go ahead and select install. You get prompted with this warning message. So this is a consent. Removal of this profile will delete access to the internet and network at CICS charter schools. The authenticity of Civitas Wi-Fi mobile cannot be verified, and this is basically you have to make sure you select a save configuration file. If you did, you would not be getting this information down here. If you didn't, then you would be prompted with this information. So you want to go ahead and select install, and then if you give it a second, it should be done. So you want to hit done. Takes you back to this home page that we have set up originally for my school. Now we're going to go to my profiles, general, and then if you scroll down, you select on profiles, and you can see there's a profile for Civitas Wi-Fi. So when I do return to work and to the office tomorrow, this information will be self-populated. I can technically remove this. So now if I try to remove this, it's going to ask you removing this profile will change settings on your iPad, as well as where it says it will remove connectivity to your network. So I can hit remove and give it a second and it will disappear. And now I do not have any other profiles. But now if I bring this iPad to work, it will not connect to the network unless I reinstall this profile. So that's basically how to use the profile in an mobile device product of a iPad. I'm using it here right now as an iPad 2 mini, but it also works for any other iPads as well, as long as you have version iOS 6 and newer. Thanks, and hopefully you enjoyed my video on YouTube. This is iOSGenius.